I watched a Charlie Brown Christmas for the first time since I was a kid. As a kid, I never really thought much of Peanuts. Not that I hated them by any means or disliked it. No. I liked it fine. I watched it whenever it was on. But it was one of those things that as a kid was just sort of there. And fortunately, I was away from the hype. I knew what an influence it was, but it's really only recently that I understand it. Funny thing is, even though Halloween's my favorite holiday, I find this special a lot better. I found this one really emotionally rich and deep, and I get why this is the definitive Christmas special. I think if I'd been forced to watch this every year, if I'd been around the hype more, I wouldn't get it, and I wouldn't appreciate it nearly as much. So I'm really, really lucky that I can appreciate it for what it is, and I really, really like the emotions in this special. I really, really like its simplicity. One, the music is gorgeous. I like the emotions of it because it opens up with, and granted, Christmas special tropes are always either a Christmas Carol story, a jerk having to be scared into being nice for the holidays, or someone not liking the holidays and having to find the true meaning of Christmas. I wouldn't be surprised if this is what started that, or one of the first to really do this. But the emotions it conveys are very, very interesting. I like that. It's not particularly funny, it's not particularly bouncy. A lot of Christmas specials are very, very bouncy and very bright and very colorful, and this one is very, very subdued and very simple and very much, I guess, getting to the root of things. Is that a pun? I don't know. A lot of people really like Linus, the Bible speech towards the end. That's not what got me. I really, really liked this opening. I liked the music. I liked the kids singing. It was such a wonderful atmospheric environment. Right away, it sucks you in. And that first line Charlie Brown has, he says, "Something's wrong with me. You know, Christmas is here and I don't feel happy. I like presents, I like the trees, but I'm just not happy." The way he says that, so compelling. It's such a compelling line, and it's delivered in such a straightforward way that's what I was thinking of the rest of the special. I was thinking, oh, that is so interesting, especially because seasonal depression is very real, and now you know a lot more about depression and how it can get worse around the holidays, the holidays can make you feel like you're supposed to be happy, you're supposed to feel a certain way, and it seems like that's reinforced everywhere. And here there's a very honest feeling and admission of, hey, I'm not feeling what I'm supposed to feel. And that's very, very resonant and very poignant. The most poignant thing in the entire special, easily. Because now we've seen it many, many times. Oh, a character trying to learn the true meaning of Christmas, but something about this one, you feel that. There's something about the tone of this. You get it more than in a lot of other specials. Maybe it's because it was one of the first to admit it. Maybe it's because this is before we saw a ton of imitations. Maybe it's because it is so simple, and it's the tone, the music, everything working together to create this environment, and something about it really sucks you in. You're really drawn into this world. but it is very, very... It gets you thinking. And kind of funny that this is a special that really lampoons commercialism, and the symbol of that is the aluminum Christmas trees. Charlie Brown picks the one natural Christmas tree, even if it's a bit shabby, even if no one else gets it. He has a connection with this tree, this really simple, misunderstood thing that everyone finds ugly and makes fun of him for, but learns to see that and eventually comes around. The thing is, what I do find interesting about that scenario is that Charlie Brown doesn't defiantly stand up to them. He actually blames himself and thinks, oh God, I'm still the problem. Oh, I screwed up again. And he actually starts to lose that. He starts to get sucked into the cynicism and bleakness of what's going on around him. And that's realistic, and that's very, again, very poignant. I think it's easy to characterize Charlie Brown as just a sad sack, but he's really not. Well, he is, but he isn't. He's still someone trying to figure out the world. You know, I don't even see... Maybe he is a misanthrope in many ways, but he still feels like somebody trying to figure things out and trying to navigate just this outsider feeling in this world. It's hard to really explain and put into words, and I watched it right before I recorded this, so it's still fresh in my mind. This world is very interesting. It definitely balances the whimsical and the bleakness very, very well, but does it emotionally. I find that even the symbolism of commercialism is done very differently and much more subdued than a lot of other shows, specials, movies does it. Because usually you see the excesses and you see that done in a very heavy-handed way in a lot of other specials. You know, the greedy corporation or the Scrooge character or big presents, excess depictions of wealth in a very heavy-handed, ham-fisted way. This, you don't actually see depictions of commercialism the way a lot of other specials do it. You definitely... And even some of what Charlie Brown thinks of as commercial, you can even wonder, wait, really? You think that's... Really that? For example, Snoopy entering the light house decorating contest, the lights decorating contest. I thought, really? Maybe the fact that it's a contest, but that doesn't seem like such a big deal to me. Maybe it's the fact that people can go over the top trying to outdo their neighbors for Christmas lights decorations. But I didn't feel like that one was such a big deal. But then you get Sally wanting a huge gift list to Santa, saying, oh, I've been really good, now this is all I want, you know, very much the Calvin and Hobbes thing. And Lucy wanting the biggest aluminum Christmas tree. Which apparently this destroyed the trend of aluminum Christmas trees because of its potshots at commercialism. It would have been really easy to show a big corporation or kids opening tons and tons of presents and not appreciating them, all the stuff, all the excesses, but no, it's all very realistic. It's very subtle, It's very day to day, but at the same time, you do pick up on it. It's not so subtle that it goes over your head. It's because the emotions are very rich and you feel the environment and you feel Charlie Brown's clashing with the world, I suppose. His confusion. His, not apathy, but the confusion and the bleakness and the seasonal depression that he feels, which, again, very, very honest and very simple, it conveys a lot with so little, and everything about it is consistent. You know, Christmas started out as a religious holiday, so you see some of that come in, even as of, I can't remember when it started becoming more secular, but in many, many ways, you see the tree that's shabby and down to its branches and its roots, so you see some of the origins of Christmas coming in. You see the appreciation for the simple things, and you see navigating both the fun but also the chaos, and coming to a peaceful conclusion. So I get it. I truly get why people would watch this every year. And it is ironic that it's become so big and commercialized itself that it's kind of funny. It becomes the thing it's criticizing. Irony. But if people want to commemorate their love for the show by little ornaments, trinkets, you know what, you do you. But I get why this has such a following. I get it because it is so nostalgic, but it's also very timeless, and anybody can watch it and get these ideas. It's very honest about a particular part of the human experience and human condition. It's not just about the bleakness. It's not just about the bad stuff. It's about the good and the bad together, and how overcoming the bad gives you more of an appreciation for the good. I think that's why Charlie Brown, as much as sad and confused as he often is, I can see why he's lasted. I can see why he is such a timeless character. Because it's easy to try and say, oh, just be happy, oh, just forget about it. No, the human experience involves negative emotions too, and you need to go through some of that adversity to get to a better spot. It does give you more of an appreciation. You need both sides. And this captures it really, really well in its own unique way, in a way that's timeless, in a way that's clearly influenced so many other projects. Yeah, I really like this one. It's very calming, very peaceful. It's a good feeling. It's not ridiculously bouncy, which, again, I like ridiculously energetic stuff too. But I also really like this is a good, peaceful, relaxed piece. I get it. I always want to call it Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown, but I really do get it. It's a good special, and I really understand why it's lasted as long as it has, and will continue to last for many, many years.